New Master Duel Banlist is here, and whatever it is, we're going to have a $1,000 tournament qualifier on twitch.tv/Decade, 4 p.m. EST this Sunday with the new Banlist applied. Now, what's the tier list looking like? As we hop into this Banlist, we can see that Dracotail and Malice are the two sole tier 1 decks, with Dracotail a bit ahead of everything. Now, what does this mean for today's Banlist? Well, Dracotail just came out, so nothing can really get hit unless they hit the older cards that are benefiting the deck. And that would be something like Anaconda or Branded Fusion. And I would really hate to see Dracotail be the reason why Anaconda and Branded Fusion get hit. They just put Branded Fusion from 1 to 2 recently, so to think that they wouldn't have the proper foresight of Dracotail coming out in Master Duel, then using and abusing the Branded Fusion at 2 would be a problem. So what the heck would be that if that actually happened? Now for Malice, this is quite interesting. Splash Mage was banned in the OCG just last freaking week, and I thought it was exclusive to the OCG and TCG until I also saw Red Ransom being banned within that same ban list, which because of that, I now think that Splash Mage could very likely get banned in Master Duel, which could be on this ban list. Also in that ban list, I'm just remembering now, Maxx C got freaking limited to 1. And that's what happened with Maxx C being semi-limited. It first happened in the OCG, then came on over to Master Duel. So big cope on today's ban list, possibly having Maxx C at 1. And let's see what the ban list could be off of that. I guess Splash Mage ban, and hopefully not Anaconda, Branded Fusion, Maxx C to 1. Onomat Ryzeal had a pretty good showing within the Duelist Cup. But let's see, let's go. All right, boom. January 8th is when the ban list will be applied, but on twitch.tv/Decade this Sunday, we're going to have the ban list applied early. Cards will be unlimited. What Electromite from 1 to 3? What is going on here? Why would you need more than 1? Okay, what's the hard once per turn? This is all hard once per turn. If this card is linked summon, you could add a Pendulum from your deck to your extra deck. Once per turn, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, add a Pendulum from your extra to your hand. If this in your Pendulum zone leaves the field, if a card, not this, if a card leaves the Pendulum zone, draw a card. You can only use this effect once per turn. So only the draw effect is a hard once per turn. The target a face-up card to destroy it, then add a card from the extra deck, which is a Pendulum, is a soft once per turn. So what would happen is if the Electromite would get impermanenced, you would just make a Promethean Princess with it to then reborn it back so that you can get the effect to ensure that the Pendulum goes back to your hand. Now, this is what you are not able to do with Promethean Princess. This is exclusive to being link summoned, not special summoned. So I guess you're now going to just be able to continually add up to 3 Pendulum monsters from your deck to your face-up extra. I don't know how viable that's actually going to be, or if this is going to be like a backup summon if the first one gets negated. So you let me know if you're a Pendulum chat in the comments. Are you excited for this? Has your Electromite been getting negated by Valor and Permanence as you now get to just summon another one? All right, let's see what the rest is. Cards be limited. Ooh, that's a short on limit list. There's been a lot of copium recently on, you tell me, how are you thinking that Konami's overlooking that should be unlimited at this point? I've been hearing some people talk about Runics, and Konami's like, nope, don't think so. Let's see. Cards to be limited. Sky Striker Hornet Drones? What? Hornet Drones? This card is not even in every single Sky Striker deck, guaranteed at 1. What? Hornet Drones, usage, 36% don't use it, but the majority do. Oh, hold up. This is Konami telling us this is yummy. This is a yummy change. This is the deck yummy. Yummy the deck uses this card. This is a full combo in a Yummy deck. This has to be because of Yummy. I mean, look, they're barely only used at 1, otherwise at 0. A few Mad Lads are using it at 3 for some reason. This has to be them completely telling us that Yummy's coming. Okay, all right. But if Yummy's coming, there are some other hits to other cards in the OCG. Herald of Arc Light is also hitting the OCG. So, all right, let's keep on seeing. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that has to be it. But I feel like Konami faked this out once. They did a hit early for what I thought would be for Sprite, and then Sprite didn't come out. And then the next month after, I think it was totally awesome getting banned even. And then 2 months later is when they finally gave us Sprite. So maybe they're just, you know, they're trying to trick us. But this, I would say, is a yummy hit. All right, let's see. Okay, Herald of the Arc Light and Hornet Drones. I mean, this has to guaranteed be yummy. There is now, like, Hornet Drones, I'm like 60% sure. I think this jumps it to like 90% plus, almost like 100. Because what the? Okay, yeah. Herald of Arc Light also getting limited to 1. This is not a hard once per turn on its negate, and it's a floodgate, and it's very easily summoned and yummy, and they're able to summon 2 copies very easily on their turn and the opponent's turn. Now, they're still going to have ways to recycle this same Herald of Arc Light, and you know, maybe at the end of the video, if I remember, I could showcase some of that, just talk about it. But what's crazy about this is any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. Well, Dracotail, the best deck, loves to send cards from the hand or main deck to the graveyard, and they don't trigger their effects if they're banished. They don't get the effect to pop a card, negate, or set a card from the deck. This is going to be a hard counter to Dracotail. This is a massive deal. That is crazy, to the point that maybe Dracotail's not going to feel comfortable main decking Branded Fusion when they need to put in more cards to help counter Herald of Arc Light, right? If you're just losing to Arc Light, then you want to maximize as much as you can to stop this. Now, they're not playing in permanents. They're playing Veiler instead. And, you know, on your own turn, you can't Veiler the Arc Light. But in Master Duel, and only in Master Duel, we have Sprite Elf. So I don't know if people are going to be coming up with combos. Maybe I should be testing some combos out where we're going to have the Sprite Elf pointing to the Arc Light, and then you're not going to be able to even use impermanence on it. And I'm pretty sure Metaltronus targets, some people were using that in the TCG, or a lot were, especially the ones playing Yummy with their Mitsurugi to get their own Arc Light and negate the opponents. But if there's an elf making it untargetable, that's going to be massive. Untargetable floodgate against the best deck possibly. Otherwise, it's just going to be consistently summoned. Okay. Oh, boy. All right. Oh, boy. Back-to-back top-tier decks. We Dracotail, now into Yummy. What happens to the whole good pack, bad pack? Good pack, bad pack. Now we got great pack, great pack. All right. I think we're on track, as I've been predicting, that K9 should be coming in February. Yes, that is my cope and hope, alongside Vanquish Soul, ideally. Let's see. All right, Arc Light, Hornet Drones. Yo, it's Yummy time. All right. Let's see. Allure of Darkness. This is limited to 1 in OCG, but they hit it so long ago. In the OCG, Maliss and Ryziel came out in 2024 August, if I'm remembering correctly, more than a freaking year ago. And this was one of the earliest hits. Now, Allure of Darkness wasn't that prevalent within Maliss on the initial release of Master Duel, but because of the other hits onto Maliss, they now have been falling back onto using more Allure of Darkness. Let me look at the stats here on that exactly. Allure of Darkness, 69% playing it at 3. Yeah, massive jump, where the majority were not even playing it at all, if you were to dig deep into the earlier months of Maliss. So, all right, yeah, okay, goodbye Allure of Darkness. Now, it's funny, against Dracotail, Allure of Darkness was pretty much the only card that Dracotail could negate with their Dracotail Flame. Otherwise, the Dracotail Flame was dead, unless they randomly have the 1-of field spell that they can't search, the 1-of Gold Sark, and now they only have 1-of Allure of Darkness. Interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Maliss hits, and Yummy coming. Pendulum. Whoa! White Rabbit also. Wait, is Splash Mage going to be banned in addition to Allure and White Rabbit hit? No freaking way. White Rabbit unhit in the OCG, limited to freaking 1. I've had this on my prediction for a while. In fact, I think on my last stream or the stream prior to that, I said that I think White Rabbit should get hit further, and there you go. Konami put it to freaking 1. Okay, the deck is now going to be even more less consistent. You tried your best to be more consistent with the Allure of Darkness and opening up a White Rabbit. Nope, you drop that down to 1 and 1. I got to look at the full deck breakdown for Malice. Oh my cheese, we're going to do that at the end. And then there's also a suspected Splash Mage ban, which that's going to be insane. On top of Allure and White Rabbit and Red Ransom being banned. Okay, now I'm not predicting anything like Link Decoder. That's a TCG exclusive hit as far as we know at the moment. All right. Whoa, okay, those are all the limits of one. We're now going to Forbidden. So this means Branded Fusion did not get limited to one, which I agree with. And what could be forbidden? Anaconda, right? Anaconda, but I don't want that to happen. But Anaconda is the only thing really bannable alongside Protoss. Protoss and Anaconda. Okay, all right, let's see. Anaconda, Protoss. Obedience. No, it's 100%. It's 100. Okay, full chain. Whoops. Okay, I'm jumping around the screen. Okay, there's no other bans. Anaconda is safe. Oh my Jesus. Arc Light, Hornet Drones, and Obedience Schooled. It's not even 90. It's 100%. Yummy is coming in the next freaking pack. That it is 100% coming, and I'm so happy that they hit this and didn't put it to 1. It's really silly that TCG has it at 1. It's a luck sack card. It's a card that is not searched. They randomly have it in their hand. It's not really a skillful way to use it. It's just they have it or they don't. It eats up an important hand trap. You know, you have to ash this, and then you are -1 card in addition to their other plays that they're now making after you had to freaking ash this or impulse this. Because you pretty much have to. It was even worse when this card was at 3. You stop the first one, then they activate a freaking second one. That was insane. This is very similar to Branded Fusion in Dracotail, where you can't plan for Branded Fusion. You can't plan for Obedience School. They either have it or they don't. And if they have it, their win rate's going to skyrocket to the roof. I think this card is also similar to a card like Pre-Preparation in Mitsurugi. They don't need to have pre-preparation in addition to you focusing on their Mitsurugi ritual. It's just disgusting. I think it's unskillful play, and I'm glad they hit this. Now, okay, so this is the whole changes. All right, we got to look at some Yummy. We got to look at some Malice. All right, not both tier 1 down, just tier 1 Malice. Dracotail untouched, unscathed, but what could they have done? As I said, besides the Anaconda and Branded Fusion, that was the only freaking thing, really. What are you going to hit here? You're going to ban something? Are you out of your freaking mind? They're not going to do anything to this. It would hurt the Branded. And I guess Dark Magician also. People want to play that with their Anaconda. Come on now. And now let's see Malice. Now, I saw a Reddit thread recently saying that everyone said that Malice was dead with Red Ransom, even the YouTubers. I didn't. Did you all saw my Banlist prediction? Not Banlist prediction, my Banlist reaction, the last one, where apparently I was one of the few, even showing combos within that video, that Malice was still going to be good. And I was even, reacting to people celebrating. I was like, I don't know, guys, what's going on here? So I think that's kind of interesting. And people also attacked me for that reaction, saying that Malice is still good. They're saying, well, DK doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. And then apparently I was the only one who knew what they were talking about. Okay, interesting. Now, White Rabbit to freaking 1, Chessie to 1, all 3 girls besides the March Hare, the real combo starters. White Rabbit's a 1-card combo, Dormouse 1-card combo, Allure of Darkness get drawn to a 1-card combo, Chessie's a 2-card combo. March Hare ain't comboing. I mean, you have a Bisteel plus a Chessie, you got full combo. You have a Bisteel plus a March Hare, nope. That's not a combo. That's crazy to think. I know. What the heck? This is, wow. The consistency of this deck is drastically dropping. That is insane. And we got to look at Yummy, right? Let's go on over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. Let me new tab so you don't get flashbanged here. All right. What is the tier list looking like? Last month, Mitsurugi Yummy alongside Yummy. So if you put the two Yummies together, I guess technically the Yummy engine is the best over Dracotail, right? 26% worth of Yummy. And what about OCG? Yummy is a top 4 deck. Now, if we look at this, they do have some hits. They got the Snatchy, the Yummy, Marshmallow also hit. And the TCG, I don't think anything in the main deck was hits, besides the Obedience School, of course, also banned in the OCG. Very happy to have that in Master Duel. Herald of Arc Light hit in both of all three formats now. I do think this is a good thing. Now, they're able to play through the Arc Light being limited to 1 because of this card. This card is, if this card's in the graveyard, you could target your Herald of Arc Light in the graveyard, return it back into the extra deck, and then special summon this card. And then it has the effect during your opponent's turn, during the opponent's main phase, synchro into the Herald of Arc Light. But Arc Light is a light, and with it being limited to 1, there's now counterplay with Bestials. Bestial banish the 1 of Arc Light, and then they're not going to be able to turn 1 summon it, then turn 2 also summon it in addition to that. The Arc Light is also really nasty with Cross Sheep. This is not a hard once per turn. The opponent breathes, spell, trap, monster effect, negate, send to the grave, and then you could use the Cross Sheep if you're able to fusion summon. Just not so much in Yummy, just the idea of how this card is freaking recyclable. It's insane. Now, okay, will this be the new best deck? Because Herald of Arc Light does hard counter Dracotail with the built-in ability of their cards are being banished instead of being sent to the grave from the deck or main deck. Horned Drones were already limited to 1 across both the different formats. But as you can see here, 30% not playing in TCG. What about OCG? 36%. I feel like this wasn't a necessary hit. Believe me, I understand. This is a 1-card combo. That's great. But with my playtesting of the deck, I even said on stream, I was like, oh, Hornet Drones is at 3. What's that going to do for Yummy? And then thinking about it more, it's just too many too many starters. You need more non-engine. It's going to be too much of a confliction. So I don't even think that would have really been a big deal. So it is quite strange to see Konami hit this preemptively just in case, I guess. Now, we should be expecting the Marshmallow Yummy, which is second wave support. This did not come out on the release of Yummy for TCG nor OCG. Now, they were a top-tier deck without this, but then when this also came out, it further boosted up the deck. I think Ghost Ogre might go up in relevance. You know how we saw Ghost Spell go up because of Dracotail? Now, I think the Dracotail players will probably want to play Ogre to help try to pop the Snatchy. Now, on the first effect of Snatchy, if they don't have another monster in the field, you will be able to Ogre it, and that'll be great. Pop it, get it off the freaking field. But the second effect, if it activates a Synchro, it's only once per chain. So if they activate the Synchro, that is when you'll instead use your Ogre. Do not Ogre this if they have another body and they're doing the initial effect to play the field spell. It's a very fun deck, I think so. One of their main disruptions is the Cookie Yummy Way, which flips monster on the field face down. And the way I would describe this deck is it's really squirmy. It's hard to pin down their monsters because they jump off the field like crazy. You try to do something to their field, they synchro with the Snatchy. You try to activate anything. If you respond to their field or plays in any way, their synchros jump off and reborn 2 bodies from the graveyard. It's just continually jump off, reborn, resynchro, jump off, reborn, resynchro, search 2, reborn 2, flip 2 face down. And they also get really big with the field spell when they're attacking. Very easy lethal damage with this. But what's very interesting is that if you out this field spell and they're not able to get it back, now the Marshmallow, this states that you could add a Yummy from your graveyard, or this card's special summon, you could add it from your deck or banishment. So this is a way to get it back even if it gets banished. But when this card was not available, if you were to banish their field spell, you could literally set Nash Blossom face down, and then it would just tank the whole deck. They could not attack over it. But that's not going to be the case for Master Duel. This card will also pop on their Synchro. Now, I think a big question is, will Mitsurugi Yummy be the best way to play the deck? Well, in the OCG, they don't want to play Mitsurugi Yummy. It's been out for quite a while. They had a 5,000 player tournament, not a single Mitsurugi Yummy, multiple regular Yummy without Mitsurugi when it was playable. I could even bring that up real quick. The YCSJ Nagoya, November 1st. So, to believe me, let's type in Mitsurugi, Mits, and it says right here, came out in OCG September 26th. So definitely legal for this event, and no Mitsurugi Yummy. And the Yummy players were instead playing Fiendsmith Yummy. Now, Moon of the Closed Heaven just got freaking banned in the OCG, also banned the TCG. So we exclusively would be able to still play this version of the deck, which could be a really good idea. And I think a lot of the TCG players, they're going to be going towards the Mitsurugi Yummy version instead. Now, what's the real downside and comparisons of the decks? I could talk about that for 2 seconds, and we're going to wrap this up. So we have a Mitsurugi Yummy deck here. If you have Droll and Lockbird, it does shut down the Mitsurugi engine. If you Droll against the Fiendsmith version, the Fiendsmith can still make plays. But if you Fool Loss or Maxx C against either deck, they're not going to play so well against Fool Loss or Maxx C. So that's where you would, instead of playing the Mitsurugi or Fiendsmith, you'd want more non-engine, more hand traps, more, as you can see here, more Ghost Bell. He's even playing Pirellia. Now, with the Fiendsmith version, though, you can Droll and Lockbird yourself. If you Droll and Lockbird yourself, then you could still make your full Fiendsmith engine play. So you do get extra utility out of your Droll and Lockbird if you choose to play the Fiendsmith way. Now, I'm not trying to say that the Fiendsmith way is better than the Yummy Mitsurugi. I'm trying to explain why the OCG is choosing to not play it. That's got to be the reason why. You could self-Droll yourself with Yummy or play more non-engine, so you're better against Maxx C and Fool Loss. And without the existence of Maxx C and TCG, they're like, okay, balls to the wall, Mitsurugi Yummy all the freaking way. Not exactly, because it's actually quite close in comparison. They're not completely choosing the Mitsurugi way over the regular Yummy. Now, what I mentioned earlier, I wanted to look at Metaltronus. This might be a fun tech against the deck. Target a face-up Herald of Arc Light, special summon your own Herald of Arc Light, and then negate their Herald of Arc Light. But if the Herald of Arc Light's being pointed to by a Sprite Elf, that's when things are going to get real nasty. Do we have some good Sprite Elf plays? So a really good way to, if you want to be trying to think of combos yourself, is to do this. You could type in an important name and then do semicolon, cannot special. Whoa, no summon lock. So to test this, you type in, let's say, branded. Branded fusion, cannot special. So that's the main way to see if a deck has a summoning restriction. So pretty much what I'm trying to showcase here is that if you can summon your Sprite Elf, then you're going to be able to do it very easily. Cannot special, and the Gigantic Sprite's actually worded a bit differently. It's like you can only special summon a certain type. So that's like the one outlier here. But yeah, do expect something like that. I don't know if this card's coming, the Star Ham, but you know, I don't think it's that important to have. We do already have this though. That's great. Now let's see what the reactions are to this ban list. What did we go over? Yep, Yummy and Malice hits. All right, let's see. Malice will live forever. Even Yummy took more hits in this ban list, Almea. Okay. Oh boy, Rabbit to 1 at least makes Allure terrible for Malice with only 6 main deck names, so hitting both is kind of meh. Boy, is their consistency way down. They lost 4 freaking cards. Now, what's interesting is, you know, back in the day when I was playing TCGs, what would happen with the top decks are that we would play the top decks so insanely optimized that we didn't have room for really good cards in our deck. And then they would start hitting the deck and we'd go, okay, we'll start putting in the really good cards that we didn't have room for. And that was the case with Allure of Darkness. We didn't have room for Allure. Now you gave us room for Allure. So the big question is, what's the next best good cards that Malice is not playing that you're now going to force them to play? Well, that's quite simple, actually. They're not playing Signet Mining mostly, and now they will. So you're just pushing them to now be a majority main deck in Signet Mining. Let's see, right now 71% are not playing it. So I do suspect that these numbers will be flipped, right? Very likely, 71% will probably be them playing it at 3. This will make them a lot more susceptible to a Droll and Lockbird hitting them early. Even though they don't even have Red Ransom, which you're not even freaking turning off. So, you know, this is definitely something. Also, in addition to Signet Mining, Math Mech Circular is limited to 1 in TCG and OCG, but unlimited in Master Duel. Let's see real quick. Is any Malice Mad Lads recently? Look at this. We got this Duelist Cup Mad Lad playing some circular in his Malice deck. Okay. Yep. So, you know, this might be the new way to play it. Otherwise, they'll just lean heavily on Signet mining, I think will be the case. That's my prediction with Malice. I think Malice can compete with Dracotail and Yummy. So because I was one of the few actually predicting that Malice would still be good on the last ban list, what I'll say is I think after this, Malice is definitely not tier 1. I think it will be tier 2 to 3. At best, tier 2. Otherwise, a solid tier 3. And, you know, that's 1 month of Yummy plus Dracotail domination. And then if the cope is real, in February, with the big new year, they have to release something good, right? They do it every single year in February. That would be K9 and Vanquish Soul. And Malice with all these hits having to compete with Dracotail, Vanquish Soul, Yummy. There's no way it would be a part of the big 3, or it would be the big 4 if Malice was a part of it. So the big 3 will definitely... What I think there's going to be pretty much be no tier 2 deck when that happens. It will just be Dracotail, Vanquish Soul, and Yummy at tier 1 after about 2 weeks of that release happening, if that actually comes out, and everything else will be tier 3 or worse. That's my prediction for the future of Master Duel. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on twitch.tv/Decade on this Sunday, 4 p.m. EST, with the new ban list applied. And with that new ban list applied, while we're not going to have Yummy, of course, at least Malice's consistency drops a bit, and we'll see a bunch more Signet minings very likely, right? Okay, see you there. We out.